think we're live.
We are live. Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Eduardo Dingler, Vice President of Wine for Wine Access, and this is our Head of Wine and newly minted Master of Wine, Vanessa Conlin.
Great to be here, and I think our special guest of honor is about to join us.
Certainly.
He sent us the request.
A man that needs no introduction, larger than life, and a guy with so much charisma and savoir-faire that it's hard not to notice in a room even with 500 people around. And Jean-Charles, how are you, sir?
Bonjour!
Bonjour, great to see you. I almost filmed from my leopard room as well, but it was taken.
You're looking both fabulous. It is a pleasure.
It's a Tuesday afternoon, so I'm in cocktail attire, naturally.
I love your dress. You're looking irresistible. I always love my friend Eduardo. It's very rare that I'm jealous, but I am because I'm not as close to you as I should be.
Indeed. Look at you, Jean-Charles. How is life treating you lately?
Well, you can see I have a beautiful leopard behind me. I feel very protected.
Be careful. Yeah.
I feel very safe. And life is so good. I'm going to open a bottle of Secret Indulgence.
Ooh. Fantastic. Is this a
Did you hear that little noise? I decided to use a very small glass for you today.
That looks like it could fit the entire bottle, which
I can.
That is an instant party right there.
Well, with the both of you, it's always a party. So chin chin.
Cheers.
Chin chin to you.
Wow. So this is a very unique glass, which happens to be a decanter as well. It's pretty cool.
You can fit
I can fit the whole bottle.
Yeah.
I like your style as always. Well, we have one of your wines in our glass as well.
We have a beautiful Malmaison.
Ooh.
Yes, which we're hoping you tell us a little more for all our followers and viewers and everybody that's joined.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, we delighted Malmaison, obviously, Beaujolais house, one of the oldest, founded in 1865. Really the beginning of the Beaujolais region, and really one of the very unique, attributes of Malmaison is to make, those Beaujolais wines in a Burgundy tradition. So not always what we call the carbonic maceration, and often using long skin contacts, in fact, like a Pinot. And the wine you're drinking, I believe, is a Cru du Beaujolais, right?
It is actually the Macon Village.
Oh, it's the Macon Village. Fantastic.
Indeed.
Well, an amazing wine. And can you believe Macon is next to Pouilly-Fussé, which is obviously next to the tiny village of Chardonnay, which got established in the 14th century and is really the cradle of where Chardonnay started. So Macon really is, for a very minor price, the best introduction, I believe, to any Chardonnay you can have.
I have
good choice.
Absolutely. And it's delicious. So thank you. So I have a question for you, Jean-Charles. So I was curious, when you approach winemaking, or do you think of it more as an art or a science?
When I approach
the production of wine, the making of wine as a vintner, do you think it's more about art or science?
I believe it's about art. I love the science to help us support, but the way personally I love to be involved in styling wine, and luckily Eduardo has seen us doing a lot of those sessions because we've done many together.
Absolutely.
You start with a vision. And I love to start with a vision of a dream, of an idea, like the both of you right now having a great drink, enjoying a beautiful, almost summer afternoon. And I start with an idea, a vision of enjoyment, a moment, a place, and kind of a visual sense of colors, aroma, and sense of place. And from there, I create. And the idea for me is always about, letting the terroir express itself, but also influencing a little bit the style in order to represent the identity, the personality of that vision. So as an example, the Secret Indulgence wine I'm having right now, which is a wine well, it's a Blanc de Blanc Chardonnay, méthode champenoise, from the heart of Napa Valley. The vision was richness, opulence, flamboyance. All of us together, no caviar, no smoked salmon, no foie gras. We're just having a drink. We're looking at your beautiful dress, of course.
Oh.
And we enjoying what the wine is telling us with richness, opulence. So the idea was not to make a zero dosage because it has over 8 grams of dosage, but to make something that we want to enjoy, we celebrate with. Whereas many other wines have a very different vision as well. So that's the way I do. I love the artistic side. I believe it's great to refuse yourself into the science. However, then you could make monotone wines. You could make, obviously, lab wines, which is certainly not what we do. We want to make wine with your personality, Eduardo personality, that really represents us, the feeling, the emotion we have.
And your wines really reflect that. And just to cover for everybody that's watching and for us as well. So you have wines all throughout the world. If I can just think of a few off the top of my head, India, obviously France,
Yes.
US. Tell us a little more about the UK. What other places you have your hands on?
Well, we love those places. I mean, our core is obviously California and France. We love the Franco-American friendship, Eduardo, and we love the sense of friendship, camaraderie, and what brings us together. So we believe the wine really complement each other. So we really focus Burgundy with Domaine de la Vougeray, Boisset, Bouchard, Wapito, Jafflin, Girardin, and many others. Then Beaujolais with Montmessin, the Château de Pierreux. Then we go to the Rhone, because the Burgundian always goes south in a straight line. Like the Roman went up, we go south. So Southern Rhone with Bonpas, that you've very kindly featured as well.
Absolutely.
And Fortin-de-France in the south. So we love that north-south axis. In Napa, it's the same. We almost every AVA in Napa today with Raymond, 1881 Napa, Duranton Booth, JCB, Buena Vista. And then we have obviously the Deloach in the Russian River, the Leith in, Alexander Valley, and naturally Lockwood in the Central Coast. So all those, and why so many? They all complement each other. So we would have a giant dinner. We would have them all. None of them would taste the same, and each of them will bring something unique at the table.
A sense of character and then
and like the both of you, you love going beyond, the boundaries of what you know. We're doing this amazing moment together. We elected to go to India. We love Indian flavor, Indian religion, Indian school of thoughts, philosophy of life. And we thought the wines were phenomenal. So we did a joint venture in India of wine we couldn't do in Burgundy, we couldn't do in Russian River or Napa Valley. So it adds again something. Same with Stephen Spurrier, with obviously the wines from the Dorset, Bright Valley,
Absolutely.
Which are fantastic Crémant from there. And we advise him how to plant on the winemaking. And now obviously we're promoting it together. So, I think in life as a conclusion or an introduction, it's really fun to bring all the cultures, all the diversity, unite them around the table and in the glass.
Oh, cheers to that. That's beautifully said as we enjoy some Raymond generations.
Yes. So. Speaking of Raymond, we also have that in our glasses. So Jean-Charles, I love the way you talked about wine as an art. So I'm curious, tying in another art form, do you have a favorite musical pairing when you're tasting wine?
Well, of course, specifically, I'm not going to pour that whole glass in my new...
Why not?
We don't judge.
Baby. Well, you're asking such an opportune way to bring our French on legend. We became great friends in the Red Room, drinking generation. So, listening to his music was a great inspiration as well. I really believe, however, that any music can be applied to wine, and the least obvious can enhance wine. So we have an experience that is the JCB wine tasting and music that allows you to eliminate all the preconceived ideas you may have. In other words, you're going to serve in a romantic moment maybe a Pinot Noir from the Green Valley region in the Russian River. You're thinking, I'm going to put Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin. You're going to taste the wines and you're going to say, it doesn't work. And it's very possible you're going to put Lady Gaga or John Legend or Elvis Presley or Frank Sinatra, and you're going to say, wow, this is fantastic. And same with hip hop, same with jazz, same with every genre of music. So often, you know, you build yourself this idea, oh, I need to drink this because of the moment or the message I want to pass. Sometimes it's totally reverse because, you know, our connection of our mind, our brain, and how it functions and its senses really work with wine. However, break all the principles that you think, maybe the classical ones, and, you know, digress and be totally disruptive in your choices. It really works.
Charles, I think this question inevitably screams to put the parallel between your parties and music and wine. And we've been to a couple of your parties, and I mean, there are things that you just never forget, and I always tell your children and your grandchildren and generations to come, like your last party, the 50th. But tell us, what is the craziest party you've ever thrown, and why?
Well, I really believe my birthday was kind of the apex a few months ago. You know, I just turned 25. So at 25,
again,
I had a quarter of a century, you know. Well, it was half a century. And, you know, to take people on a journey and to bring people in a party in your brain on how you think and how you see the world. So it has to be aerial. It has to be ethereal. It has to be about taste and texture. It has to be about sound. It has to be, and with social distancing, it's a little harder, but it has to be about touch. As you can see behind me, it's the word of the leopard through all its approach. So from wallpaper to velvet to velour to any fabrics, including the leopard I have behind me. So it's really transporting people. So I think my birthday was kind of the ultimate dream in terms of everything else, and really taking people through every part of an event and going crescendo to the most insane place where they would discover you. And you do remember I was in the martini glass,
absolutely
dressed up as someone who is not me, but the lady in Goldfinger. I was on the swing in the air. Then I was on,
I mean, hard to forget. You're just hanging backwards and pouring JCB Cremant to everyone.
And then I was on stage, you know, playing James Bond and
indeed
defending the beautiful ladies. And so I really believe the idea of the scene, the party, is all about your senses and really thinking theatrically. And my vision for the both of you is life, as far as I'm concerned, is a theater. We live a succession of acts. We have a short period of time to act and to contribute to the world, and let's really do it. And that's how I live it, that's how I experience it, and that's how I want to share it.
Well, if that was your 25th birthday party, I can't imagine what your 30th birthday party is.
Well, what I can tell you is you'll be invited.
So I have a question. I mean, Jean-Charles, you're so well traveled. You know so many people. But is there a person that you've never shared a glass of wine with that you wish that you could?
Yes, that person is a phenomenal artist. He really represents a movement in art. He represents a movement in behavior, in experiencing food, wine, art, sex, animals, a trend in a certain time, a period during the war. His name is Salvatore Dali. I really feel Dali is a surrealist painter that I wish I would have sometimes his brilliance in terms of being able to execute on a canvas the ideas that he could. Because I really feel in many ways I'm a surrealist, as I don't feel I necessarily see the world as we all do. And none of us do see the world as we all do. We all have a different perception of it. And I love to transport my own self into representing the way I see it. So he would be the one.
Oh my God, that is an excellent person. Yeah. And if there's somebody that I could relate in our world, there you are. You're channeling very well.
And you know, there's many others, of course. You're asking me one, So that
No,
would be the one.
no, I imagine you have a list.
I didn't mean to limit you by any means. I mean, if you have a top five, we're all yours.
Well, it wouldn't be bad. My initials being JCB, JC, it wouldn't be bad to be Jesus Christ and imagine that one creates the beautiful world we live in spite of its differences and tension and sometimes challenges. It's what a beautiful world. And if someone had ever created it, and if it would have been him as an example, that would not be a bad person to have a glass of wine with.
Not at all.
Specifically when you could turn water into wine.
It's a useful skill, especially when you're a college student and you're on a budget. I have another question. Is there sort of one myth with wine consumers that you wish you could dispel?
The myth of just opening one bottle of wine. And I think we all here share this.
Yeah.
You know, with the both of you, every time we've enjoyed ourselves in all the settings, we've had the pleasure to do so. Bottles are open at the speed of light. And I believe what we need to take as a myth is to just venerate that bottle of wine and think this is the only one. I recommend people to go through the sequence of multiple bubbles, multiple whites, multiple rosé, multiple Pinots and Cabernets experience and be audacious. I want to make sure that in life we live it fully, we live it with excess, maybe a certain sense of discipline because it's important, but at the same time, we let it go, we let it be. So opening more than one, and you know, it's hard to imagine being invited to a dinner and having just two wines. So why don't you have two or three
Who does
wines
that?
per course?
Yeah. Hey, speaking about great wines and paradise and amazing places to visit, I wanted to talk a little bit about Raymond. And,
Yes.
Obviously, for me, it's no secret. Everybody that knows me, friends, family, everybody that visits Napa Valley is the first place I send them to. You created a beautiful place between the theater of nature, the wall of senses, the Lady Gaga room, everything around it, the mannequins, everything. It really gives a sense of people have never visited Napa Valley, what it is. Tell us a little bit about the roots of Raymond and how something I love about what you do is maintain some of that beautiful structure.
Well, first, we appreciate immensely your kindness and bringing us a lot of people. And we thank you so much for it. We felt Raymond was the perfect winery, 5 generations of winemakers, founded by the Raymond family at the turn, can you believe, when they came and made wine at the turn of Prohibition, buying this vineyard in the late 60s, officially launched it in 74 as hundreds of acres in Santa Helena and Rutherford. Doesn't get any better from a sense of place. They started, they had great success. In 93, they created the great wine you have behind you, Generations, which has become a staple in the world of fine wines, from the world of wine at large, whether you're in Bordeaux or in Napa Valley or anywhere else for that matter, because it represents, thanks to Stephanie Putnam and Philip Melka, softness, elegance, finesse, and refinement.
Big cheers to that. Well, we're talking about.
Thank you. And what I love about it, and you recognize the theater of nature, the introduction for everyone on the world of organic and biodynamic farming. We today are the largest farmer organically and biodynamically in the heart of Napa Valley, certified. And all those beautiful grapes are made as such, respect Mother Nature, and create the magic of this wine. So what we wanted to do is really take you as our guest, as our friends, to share the emotion of the environment, your senses, discover yourself. We have as well a room which is all about the history of Napa Valley, so you could taste historical vintages from 1974 to today. We have a room which is called the Crystal Cellar, full of crystal and mirrors, where you discover your own self, you look at yourself tasting, and you discover the worlds of crystal and decanting wine. You could as well make your own wine at Raymond.
I remember that. I remember that Psalm series you started years ago. I believe it was.
And you are one of the illustrious, iconic member of it. So thank you for that.
I truly enjoyed it. Certainly. And it's something brilliant because everybody can go and have the opportunity of blending a wine and getting that experience.
And I was just outside. I'm at Raymond Vineyards right now. We were just witnessing our beautiful road that is being built from 29 to Raymond. It's a 1.5 mile road that will take you from Highway 29 to the heart of Raymond, and obviously the Red Room that you love so much.
I saw the aerial picture of it, and it's amazing. So you have a little roundabout, and
Yes.
really,
And it's all, you will relate that so much to it. It's all based on the principle of magnetic energy, orientation towards the stars, cosmic energy, telluric energy, the alignment with Mont Saint Helena. So it's all based on the principle of energy flow. And that roundabout is a vortex that goes counterclockwise, in fact, as you take it.
wow.
And you leave clockwise. So we're really reversing a lot the trends, the ideas of how you get into the property, what you see, what you feel, what you sense, and the ideas that it triggers within your mind.
As always, the extent that you think things through is pretty outstanding. So I
Thank you.
have a question because, you know, as a vintner who has properties, you know, in so many countries now, but we're all sitting here, you're a little up valley from us, but we're sitting right here in you know, town of Napa. What do you think when you look at all of your properties around the world and you think about the different regions, what does Napa do better than anyone?
Well, Napa does better than anyone, fabulous people. And I really believe we all call it home because we want to be here. It's our choice. So it's very important because people generate fabulous energy and a magnetic energy that you cannot replicate because it comes from us. Number two, unbelievable hospitality. You know, people are welcoming others in a way that does not exist anywhere else. Third, breathtaking landscape. I mean, I know the Beaujolais region is fabulous. Burgundy is gorgeous. Bordeaux has its beauty as well. But I cannot tell you how gorgeous Napa Valley is, as we all know. Fourth, the diversity of the soil. What it does to me, if you talk quality, you can taste it within the Raymond generations and all the Raymond wines from the, you know, sommelier selection that Eduardo participated to making all the way here, is phenomenal diversity of soil, which brings unbelievable tasting flavors. So huge potential. And five, I would say, the map has not yet been finished to be drawn and identified. So we're learning every day, and the audaciousness of American people pushing us every day to learn, to outperform ourselves, to perfect, and to become better. Hence, we will be like the monks of Burgundy from the 12th century. It took them 5-7 centuries. I'd love to be back here in 500 years and see what it is, because it most likely will be one of the finest region. Ultimately, I would say what Napa Valley as well could do even better, and I'm pushing for it, and you both know that, is organic and biodynamic farming. I feel we should all migrate. Napa Green is good. You know, sustainability is a progress, but we need to be organic. We need to be biodynamic. And like Raymond, one of the largest solar panel installation, we need to focus on alternative energy. We need to never forget the environment. Mother Nature is the best. She's giving us herself as a gift. Let's nurture and respect her.
Absolutely. A big cheers to that. And there's one last question. I know we're running out of time, and there's millions of questions, and I never have enough time with you. Every time we meet, it feels like it was only like a second. But
Thank you.
Question that's been burning for everybody. Your upbringing in Burgundy, how is it growing into the world of wine and just embracing it and multiplying it by 1,000, if not?
Well, it's an important question, as I have daughters, as you know, you've met them. 9 years old today. I was very blessed. You know, I was born in 1969, therefore a small child in the 1970s, no keys, no alarm. I was born in a tiny village of Vougeot, 180 people living, the finest vineyards in the world, Clos Vougeot, Musigny, Bonne-Mare, Charmes-Chambertin, Échezeaux, Romanée Saint-Vivant, you name it. However, the best friends I had was Mother Nature, walking barefoot in the vineyards, learning the basic. My parents started in the living room, so you learn how to do everything, obviously, in the winery, which is second nature, but really being part of a village, a community, and being totally in symbiotic relationship with Mother Nature, which allows you to understand wine.
It's the truth.
Being able as well, Eduardo, to really taste wine since birth. I drank wine all my life, not with water together, water separately. Serve wine, evaluate wine, sense wine. And my parents are still the same today, fabulous people, very inclusive. So always really bringing people around the table. And I really feel understanding terroir right at first, understanding the importance of the earth, the importance of people, understanding generations, learning from your grandparents. I knew my great-grandmother. Can you imagine? I was lucky enough, one of the few maybe, to be able to really have an incredible, depth thanks to my grandparents who were the most amazing, parents who are great, a fabulous sister, so great family, and really importantly, learning to respect wine. I enjoy wine and I respect it, and I open unique bottles of wine only on certain occasions, not that we shouldn't every day, but learning the respect of the gift of God. And I believe that's what is so important. And learning how to treat it as an ingredient, part of the meal, part of the food, part of the celebration, part of the friendship. Wine is a friend. You're talking to her and she's talking to you, and you're establishing a rapport. So it's not one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional. I know it's always a long way. My answers can never be simple.
I love that. I love that.
That's why we like talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And Wine Access, we're so appreciative of your great partnership with us. We're excited to continue. And I'm gonna look for your 30th birthday invitation in the mail any day now.
Well, it's gonna come in a long time, so we don't have to wait so long. I think we should have a drink this week. Eduardo is gonna make it happen.
We'll collectively make it happen.
It's on your shoulders.
Jean-Charles, thank you so much. Always an incredible joy to see you and talk to you, and thanks for sharing all this bounties.
Well, and we're very honored to be with the both of you. You're amazing. What you do is incredible. We love Wine Access. We honestly very proud and feel privileged that we were with you today. And we want to obviously have you on our JCB Live soon, which is, almost every day at 5 as well. So we will have you reversely on our show very soon.
Let us know. We're drinking at 5 regardless, so we'd love to drink it with you.
We might as well do it together.
Cheers to the girls.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, so long.